Well, this is a new one for us. Welcome to Porter's Journey. And if you would watch one of the earlier videos, way back when we talked about this channel, there was three things that we wanted to accomplish in this channel. There was investing, which is what most of the videos have been on. But then there's also life, which just talked about how we want it to be real and just maybe more transparent and authentic. And then love, which is just what drives us, what gives you purpose in your life. And so this one actually, if we wanted to give it a title, it would be Lessons We've Learned from Investing. And it ties in exactly, if you watched our video, I think it was a couple ago, where we talked about how you manage your first dip, and we give those 4 points. And then it was only after that we realized those actually apply pretty well to life and to relationships. We've been married about 19 years, and so you can imagine we have had our fair share of learning experiences and fun along the way. Melissa's background, she's Dutch and actually from Ireland, so you can imagine there's quite a bit of strong fun and strong will. So let's just look at these 4 things. As I say, lessons that we learned is going through the dip, or how to weather your first dip, but then how they apply to your relationships with your partner or your spouse.
Okay, so number 1 for weathering your first dip is that dips are normal. And so then when I began to think about a little bit about relationships and a little bit about marriage, is that life and marriage, things go up and down. There's times when things aren't going so great, and there's times when things are going, pretty well. And so I think just to take a step back and to realize that life is about the ups and the downs, and it's about enjoying the ride as you go.
And then the second one we had talked about was learn what creates uncertainty and price adjustments. And I think if you wanted to sort of apply that to relationships, it's just learn what brings stress, not into the market, but stress into your home. An early example for us was we were married, I don't even know how long, might have been a couple of years, but it wasn't too long until we realized that it would probably be in our best interest to have a second vehicle, just because of one of us being a little uptight about time and the other person being a bit more laid back about it. I'll let you guess who was who. And so, so it's just learning what creates stress and then trying to work around that and trying to be considerate of the other person, rather than being demanding or just assuming that they'll fill in with what you want to do. So that was number 2.
Okay, number 3 was be careful of your reaction. And so when it comes to buying stocks, when your stocks decline, or when things, the price adjusts, just to be slow and have the temperament to wait it out. And I guess the same applies to marriage, and the same applies to a relationship, is that just be careful of your reaction. I know that sometimes, maybe just every once in a while, maybe 3 times in our married life, I have had a reaction, maybe because I've been tired or stressed, or there's things that have been bothering me in the bigger realm of life. But then that stress comes out in my reaction to things that Andrew has maybe said or done. And so I just think when it comes to marriage and when it comes to relationships, just be aware of your reaction and be aware of your words.
And then the last one was don't love your stocks because they don't love you. Now that's a harder one. It's not like the application is not don't love your spouse or your partner because they don't love you. That would be a bad application. But it's just more this, I guess the premise even in that, when we talked about it in terms of weathering your first dip, was just the premise of that your money is more valuable than your stocks. And I think it would be to step back and realize that your relationship is more valuable than your stocks. That it's not always about being successful in your stocks. It's not about those things, but it's more to realize that whenever everything else disappears, hopefully you've got each other. And so make sure that you make that the priority, that you're not willing to give up in your relationship. And so I think that would be it. So just be careful that you don't treasure something or put it too high a priority on something that's not going to be around maybe in 5 or 10 years, and then you put to the wrong side of things something that should be there. And so those are just some lessons that we kind of thought of just in terms of priorities for us, in terms of our relationship, because again, it's just like you got to be intentional and purposeful about investing, and you do your research, and you do your homework, and you try to make the best and be proactive in those decisions. We want to be proactive in our relationships. And so that was just something, again, that might be helpful to you. If you're not here for the life tips, then this may not be one of your favorite videos, but if you can identify with what we've been talking about, why not give it a thumbs up and maybe even leave some comments down below.
That'd be great. Okay, so don't forget, invest in your relationship.
Thanks for watching.